Local people, important issues. CBS 10 WILM's weekly focus on the Lower Cape Fear region. This is Byline Wilmington with your host, Don Ansell.
Welcome and a very good morning to you. You know, one of the biggest events in the entire southeastern region of the United States is the North Carolina Azalea Festival. It started in 1948 and has grown into a 5-day celebration that attracts crowds literally in the hundreds of thousands and injects a lot of revenue into the local economy. Our guest for this first segment of Byline, and it's a special edition, a festival edition of Byline, is this year's Azalea Festival President Erica Mearns. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me today.
You don't have much going on right now, do you?
Not at all, not at all.
So, I mean, just basically, how's it going, and how are you holding up?
You know, I'm doing great. Our volunteers are excited. We're ready. The festival is here. It's upon us. It's obviously it's a year-long planning process, and
but you've been involved how long?
I'll put it this way to you. I went to my first committee meeting when I was 6 weeks old.
So your family has been.
My godmother was the first female president of the festival, so I'm truly a child of the festival. In my 30-some years on this planet, I have never missed a festival. So, and it's great to have volunteers that I watched as a child who are still volunteering with the festival today, and I have the distinct privilege of working with.
But there is a hierarchy to how you train for eventually being president, and how long is that the process?
That process is years. You start as a committee member, working on various committees, then become a committee chair, and you work on various committees again. Yeah. Anything from the street fair to the circus to transportation. There's approximately about 100 committees with the festival, and then you have your board members, and the idea is that. And then
you work your way through. You do every job on the board.
Right, right, and the board is a 6-year commitment by itself.
Did you have in your mind, I'm going to one day be president of the Azalea Festival?
You know, I just wanted to be involved with the festival, honestly. I know that it sounds like it's a little, sounds funny, but I love the festival. I love the people of the festival, the friendships that you form from people from all walks of life that you'd otherwise never know. So I love it. Couldn't think of a better job.
And this is like another job. I mean, and you've been involved for years and years and years, and the festival happens in April, and then like you take like what, a month off, and then May or June you start planning next year, right?
Well, and there were some things for this year's festival, like our children's contest that we had, that we started planning before last year's festival. So we just kind of, you know, stop a minute, you catch your breath, you go, okay, back to the drawing board, and you start all over. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do come April 12th. Haven't figured that one out yet.
I mean, you've worked since you're 6 weeks old in some ways on the festival. You'll be an immediate past president. Are they involved?
They are.
Yeah.
There are some.
Of course, you got to get through this.
So yeah.
Well, do you have a real job?
I do. I do have a real job. I'm a realtor with Intracoastal Realty.
Okay. And a mom.
And a mom.
Yeah. But what impact does being president have on your family life? I mean, for a full year, you're like really focused on.
It's much like the festival. It's a work in progress. I'm very fortunate that I have incredible family support, and I'm very grateful for that. My situation is a little more unique. I have a husband finishing residency at the same time. But he is always here for festival. He is always off. It is a big tradition in our family. One of the things that I've tried to do with my daughters, I have an 8-year-old and a 2-year-old. And they volunteer for the festival. Azalea Pride, not my 2-year-old, but my 8-year-old does. And the traditions that I had as a child of going to the events, like the parade and various events through the festival, I do that with them. So they get just as excited about festival.
All right, so you have 2 major acts this year. A lot else, of course, going on.
We do.
How did you decide? What's the process for deciding who you're going to book for the acts?
There's a little bit of skill and a lot of luck. quite frankly.
Is there a formula? I mean, there always seems to be a country act, and that's like a staple.
We do always try to go for a country act and then something more along the pop segment.
Right.
But it does. We have a couple of agents that we work closely with. But quite frankly, it comes down to the size of the venue, who's available, and who we can afford.
Yeah.
And those are some big challenges.
So Thursday is the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yes, and Collective
Soul. And Saturday is Montgomery Gentry.
Friday
is Montgomery Gentry.
Friday's Montgomery Gentry.
It's
They're
Thursday
back to back
Friday.
this year.
Right. And ticket sales are...
Ticket sales are doing very, very well, but there are tickets still available.
But would you say it's brisk?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tickets are brisk, and we for those of the people that are still interested in going, they can still purchase tickets. They need to go online to our website, and they can purchase them right there and join in on the fun. They promise to be 2 incredible concerts.
North Carolina AzaleaFestival.org.
Or NC AzaleaFestival.org.
NC AzaleaFestival.org. So I think it's up on the screen now, yeah. And so go online, you can get tickets, and you can find out all the information about everything that's going on. Weather. We were just talking about it off camera.
Yes, yes.
I mean, it's always an issue, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, we have been very, very blessed in years past, things such as the Queen's coronation, knock on wood. I think there's been maybe 2 years in '63 that we've been rained out where we've had to take it indoors.
And that happens at Riverfront Park.
It does happen at Riverfront.
Comes down on the Cape Fear on the Henrietta.
5 o'clock Wednesday, Riverfront Park. You know, it's just one of the things you just have to adjust. So we just say our prayers.
Since we have no control, right?
Yes, yes.
All right, let's talk about a new event this year, the Azalea Festival Cake Challenge. We have about a minute. Can you give us a rundown of how that's going to operate?
Absolutely. It is going to have pro bakers, so we'll have some professional ones there when people will be able to sample just little pedophore size samples.
Right.
And then we're going to have quite a number of amateurs there, and they are just given the task of coming up with an Azalea Festival themed cake. It could be anything from the circus.
They don't bake it there.
They don't bake it there.
They
don't bake it, but they can do final touches there.
And when is that?
It is Sunday. And it begins at noon, I believe.
At the Schwartz Center.
That's
on Front Street in the Cape Fear Community College complex there. It's a great venue.
And people can purchase tickets for that online as well.
Okay. How much are tickets for that?
Tickets, we're doing a promo. I believe it's get 4 tickets for $5 right now.
Really?
Or I'm sorry, 5 tickets for $4 each, I think.
A lot of cake.
But normally 5.
Because you get to taste?
Yes.
Yeah, you go. We're going to come back and talk more. We've got great guests for the remaining segments. Erica's going to stay with us, the president of Azalea Festival, Erica Mearns. When we come back, Abby Starling, who is the North Carolina Azalea Festival princess, will join us, so stay with us.